Hi everybody, we'll be starting in about 30 seconds. Hi, Hayden Sight, I don't know who that is. Thanks for saying hi. All right, for those who just checked in, basically for your period 5 math live class, hi Cynthia, I'm just going to be recording problems. Hopefully you watched what I recorded for first period. I uploaded it onto my YouTube channel. And basically it's just, I'm just going to be going over problems. So feel free to check in or check out if you need to. And let's go over this problem. And then feel free to contact me through email if you have any questions. All right, so this is page 2, front side. Question number 8 tells us to graph y equals 2 times tangent x plus 3. We talked about our steps. Step 0 is to identify the letters. In order to find the letters, I'm just going to go ahead and write the letters above or below it. A tangent B parentheses x minus c plus d. Yes, Simone, I will upload this one to YouTube when I'm done. Okay, so if you're missing the letters, you can just go back, and I'm going to write this problem: 2 tangent x minus 0. I'm just going to put numbers there so you can kind of see where they all are. So I have a equals 2, b equals 1, c is equal to 0, and d is equal to 0. So that basically means that, remember, your amplitude is fake. So there is no amplitude for tangent and cotangent. The b value helps you find the period. The period is equal to pi over b. And if I take my b value and put it in here, I get pi over 1, which is just pi. And then my c value helps me find the vertical or, sorry, not vertical shift, the horizontal or phase shift. So that means there is no vertical or phase shift. And then our d value, because it is 0, it's telling us it's not a, that's supposed to be horizontal shift. There's no, that's supposed to be v, no vertical shift. So it's not going up or down. Okay. Now we know the period. I'm going to go ahead and get my graph here. Let me get a ruler really quickly. Let's draw out some points here. If you just joined us, go ahead and just say hi in the chat. If you have a weird screen name, just tell me who you are. Just going over problems from page 2, question number 8, front side. So because it has no horizontal or phase shift, I don't need to put this between 0 and pi. You could, and you'll recognize you'll get the same. So from here, I have 0, and then pi goes over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't count pi. And essentially, these are over 1. So 0 plus pi gives us pi, and then pi divided by 2 is pi over 2. So our equivalence to pi over 2, if I multiply this one by 2 over 2, I get 2 pi over 2, 1 pi over 2, and 0 pi over 2. And then you'll recognize that these are not it's hard to divide those, so you can just double those again. So 0 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, and you get 4 pi over 4. And then there you can see that you can get a midpoint. So 0 plus 2 is 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So this is really just going to be 1 pi over 4. And then this one's going to be 3 pi over 4. So you're just counting in the numerator, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And those will be our 5x values. So let me go ahead and just circle the ones that are reduced. 0, pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, and pi. So those are going to represent my 5x values. So now I can just make my table. So now I have 0, pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, and pi. And then from here, remember, you're going from right to left. And we didn't do it, but I should have, is move the d value to the front. And the reason why you do that, so really it'll say why. I want to go right to left, because basically what that is PEMDAS. So I have x, now I'm going to evaluate tangent at x. So evaluate tangent at x. So here, these are my x values. So tangent 0. So I'm going to go back to my unit circle. Again, you don't have to. You can just figure out all the ordered pairs if you like. And 0 here, remember tangent is using the order pairs y over x. Y over x. So the order pair is going to the right is 1, 0. That means tangent at 0 radians is going to be y over x, which is 0. Pi over 4, so this little notch here, the order pair is radical 2 over 2, radical 2 over 2. And again, same thing, y over x. So I have radical 2 over radical 2, which is going to be a 1. And then a pi over 2, 0, 1. So this pi over 2 is at the quadrantal angle. 3 pi over 4 is here, so it mirrors this special right triangle, 45-degree triangle. And that's just going to be negative radical 2 over 2, negative, and then positive. So again, the y and the x, the only ones I need here are these. So that would be radical 2 over negative radical 2, which is negative 1. And then at pi, the order pair is at negative 1, 0. So that would be 0. And that's how you evaluate tangent. Then it tells us to multiply by 2. And the reason why it's multiplication, because there's no math operation here. So I'm going to multiply by 2. So I'm going to take all these coordinates and multiply those by 2. 0, 2, undefined, negative 2, and 0. And then next, I'm going to add 3. Add 3 there. And so that means that we're going up 3. If I can caught that. So 3 plus 0 is going to be 3, 5, undefined. 3 plus undefined is still undefined. 1 and 3. All right, let's go ahead and graph this. So now I'm going to fill in my y-axis. Let's try this side. I get 5. No. Whatever scale you pick, just go ahead and use the same scale for all of them. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what I'm doing is I'm just graphing these here in red. So I have 3, 0, 3 is my order pair. Pi over 4, 5. And then pi over 2 is undefined, so that is my asymptote. Three pi over 4 is 1. And then pi, it is 3. All right, if you want to expand the graph, because we don't have a complete graph of tangent, then from your last point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is your 5th point. So using this side, let's see, yep. Then you can just make 5 more points, starting from the last point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can do the same thing going this direction, and then from this point, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And why you want that is because basically what it does is repeating every 5th. So if I just put an asymptote here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then as I move over to that first point, it should be at 1. And then the next point, the second point is at 3. The 4th point is at 5. And then the 5th point is at the undefined. And then you can just take your favorite color pencil. And then to fill in the x-axis, you can just keep counting. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's going to be 5 pi over 4. And this is going to be 6 pi over 4, which is 3 pi over 2. And if you go in this direction, it's just and negative 2 pi over 4. So negative 1. So that reduces just negative pi over 2. And then there's your graph of tangent, and you can go back on the characteristics and just check all of them. Remember the amplitude. There is no amplitude for tangent. You can't measure it because the snake, the arrows keep going on. The period is pi. Try to highlight that line. So from here to here, this is a distance of pi over 2 to 3 pi over 2. So if you subtract that, that's 2 pi over 2, which is pi. So it's a distance of pi, and this is also a distance of pi. These were shifted up 3 units, each of these points, and there is no vertical or horizontal shift. So that's question number 8 on the front side. I think we'll stop there for now. Hopefully you guys are, I know being stuck at home may be difficult, but hopefully you're having a fun, safe, I'm hoping that you and your families are being safe and also legal. See you guys next time. Bye.